Second wave Hong Kong filmmaker Fruit Chan moved his attention from films about the everyday lives of Hong Kong people to make Dumplings, a horror drama about a wealthy former actress, Mrs. Lee, who wants her adulterous husband to find her attractive again. As a result, she visits a former gynecologist from the mainland called May, who performs abortions in China and uses the fetus to make dumplings that restore youth. Despite its disturbing plot and themes, the film works as an effective allegory for how gender and class worked within Hong Kong's neoliberal economy and the transnational capitalism that connected it with mainland China. We usually divide capitalism into three sectors. The first is the production sector, that creates capital through extracting primary resources. The second creates capital by transforming raw materials, manufacturing and construction. The third functions around services like retail, finance and insurance. Dumplings is set in a cross-border section of Hong Kong, adjoining it to the Chinese mainland, specifically the urban area of Shenzhen. Shenzhen was one of the fastest growing cities in the world, where labour was much cheaper than in Hong Kong, making it a manufacturing hub for companies like Apple. As with most examples of industrial capitalism, this led to people from poorer rural areas of China relocating to Shenzhen for factory work. An example of this is single women, who leave their home communities for better paying employment, which has its pros and cons. It frees women from traditional patriarchal family structures, giving them financial freedom and social independence. However, it also alienates them from their families and domestic support networks, putting them in harsh working situations without workers' rights, government regulations, and union protection. Anyway, back to the film. Dumplings begins with May transiting from Shenzhen to Hong Kong carrying a lunch pail, which we soon discover is her special foreign ingredient. Hong Kong was initially colonised by the British to be used primarily as a port city to trade with China. This is how the film allegorises China and Hong Kong's economic relations in accordance to the three sectors of capitalism. Raw materials are extracted from China, in this case by abortion, which is then taken to Hong Kong by May, where it's manufactured into dumplings in her kitchen and subsequently served up within a service economy to an eager consumer. The consumer in this film being the wealthy Mrs. Lee, who is a secondary member of Hong Kong's capitalist elite. She doesn't produce anything of value, and even when she puts on an event for her friends, she contributes no labour. It's all catered to her by other people. However, she's trapped as a trophy wife, her physical beauty being her only asset, which is declining with age. May, on the other hand, like a true single working woman within a capitalist system, feels she is free and self-sufficient in making a living, despite being incredibly vulnerable. The film obviously has disturbing themes, but Fruit Chan accomplishes a pretty comprehensive satire. Although, from a horror trope context, Mrs. Lee is a monster, we can clearly sympathise with the structural limits that led to her actions, and May may be a morally questionable character, but at the end of the day, she's existing for the same purpose all working people are within a capitalist society: to serve.